Hello, students, teachers, parents, and all my dear friends. I am CA Sagar Desai. I am a co founder of UL Coaching Class. Now, today I am going to talk about the CBSE circular for 10th standard students. First of all, congratulations! All my dear friends, my students, amazing! You would have been so happy listening to this that your board exam got cancelled. But hold on. Exam is cancelled, but not the result. So it is not that you are mass promoted. The word is exam is cancelled, but there is no mass promotion. So in case you have not studied properly during the year, not given tests sincerely, maybe because of whatsoever reason, you may not be able to clear the exam. Secondly, it can happen that you may not get marks based on your efforts and your expectations. Because over here, there is a method based on which your results will be prepared, which I'm going to discuss. Now, one good thing the board has done is that in case you are not satisfied with the result, then you can again give the exam. You can give the exam. I'm sure many would not like to give the exam and would gracefully accept the result until and unless it is extremely negative or deviating from their expectations. But there is a provision that you are not happy with the result, you can give the exam. But when things become normal. So this is the circular over here. I'm going through it so that you also become clear in your mind. Now, one more reason why you must watch this video is because the moment you get your report card in your hand, okay, or on the screen, then you should know that on what basis you are allotted marks. Obviously, these marks are based on your historical or past performance. But still, you should know tentatively how you got these marks, these numbers appearing on your report card. So once again, I'm saying congratulations for your exam getting cancelled if you're so happy about it. But the battle is won, the war is still on. Till you get the results in your hand, you cannot celebrate your success. So hold on and let's go ahead with this video. Now, over here, it is clearly given that a candidate who is not satisfied with the marks allocated will be given opportunity to appear in an exam as and when the conditions are conducive to hold the exams. Now, going further in the notification, challenges and all, we all know it's a very challenging task for the schools to give you a report card, that too when the test is not conducted. So, what guidelines are to be followed, that is given over here. Now the guidelines are to be followed by the school. There's a direction in which the school should move and prepare the report cards. Now, the procedure for assessment of students. Now, as you all know that you had 20 marks for your internal exam and 80 marks for your board exam. Now that board exams are not going to be conducted, these 80 marks will be given to you based on your past performance. Now, a committee of teachers will be made, okay, which will be known as a result committee. Now, this result committee will consist of 5 teachers, internal teachers from the school. So there will be 5 teachers from the school who should be from mathematics, SS, science and 2 languages. But here, in order to make this assessment fair, 2 teachers from neighboring school should be co-opted by the school as external members of the committee. So there will be 7 people in the committee so that you can get a proper and fair result. 5 will be internal and 2 will be external. Because some teachers are also watching this video, so external teachers will be given an honorarium of 2500 and internal committee members will be given an honorarium of 1500. Now, very important part is when they are going to allocate the marks to you, what system they followed, what evidence was there to support your marks, everything needs to be documented properly so that any point of time, if the board wants to view that, they can refer it. Now, during the year, schools have taken various exams. The category over here is periodic or unit test, half yearly, midterm exam, pre-board. Now, periodic test of 10 marks, half yearly 30 marks, pre-board 40 marks, so total comes to 80 marks. Now, how will you get the marks? Now, the result committee will decide on what basis they are going to allocate marks to you. So say for example, this periodic unit test, you gave 3 periodic unit tests of 10 marks each. In one exam, out of 10, you scored 7 marks. In second exam, 6 out of 10. And in third exam, 8 out of 10. So now the committee will decide whether to go for average, whether to go for the best performance, or whether to go for weighted average. Say for example, this chapter 1, okay, this test 1 of chapter 1 was extremely important for the student, having lots of weightage from knowledge point of view and board exam point of view. Then more weight may be allocated to this exam. Now this becomes a very complex process. So what I feel is that generally school would be going for either average or for the best performing test. That marks would be counted. So this is how they will be giving you marks for different category of exam, and then you will be scoring some marks out of 80 marks. Maybe 80 on 80 also possible, or less than 80. Now, what happens if tests have not been conducted in all the 3 categories? Okay, what if there is different mode of examination taken by various schools? Now in this case, what the result committee should do is, result committee should draw up a criteria based on which they would be giving marks to you. And the rationale for that criteria also needs to be recorded. So the internal committee, the result committee should be themselves be very confident about what method they are adopting to give marks in absence of tests not being conducted, or some students who has not given the test. Okay, your school conducted the test regularly, but it was a very challenging year and you were not able to give few or any of the tests. So there will be a criteria for that, and it is very well documented as given in Annexure 2. We can see this later on. I'll also attach the copy of the circular, or you can download it from the CBSE website. Now, if they have not conducted, they have to go for this Annexure 2, that is rational document. So there will be reasons that on what basis now marks are being allocated to the student who has not given the exam, or where the school was not in a position to conduct the exam either online or offline. Now, this is a very interesting point, and that is why I said in the beginning that Congratulations, exam got cancelled, but it is not for the results. You have not yet cleared your 10th standard. So, now what you need to see over here is, now let's say your school A, okay? Now school A in 10th standard has a overall average result of say 72%. So out of 100 marks, on an average, students score 70 marks. Now, that criteria has to be followed. So it cannot happen that previous year, your school result was 70%, and this year, based on this result committee, this assessment procedure, your school results become 80%, 85%, 100%. That's not possible. So over here, there is a cap on what result a school can declare. Now, when we come to this, there is an example given over here that in terms of best overall performance in previous 3 years board examination will be taken as reference for moderating the marks assessed by school for year 2021. So for example, if in a specific school overall average of students in 17-18 is 72%, 74%, and it is 71% in 1920, the school will use subject-wise average. Now this is also a very interesting point. Subject-wise average means that in maths, what was the average in that previous year? Which are the averages of 2018-19, which are the highest for moderation. So thank God over here for moderation, you go for the highest percentage, and that is 18-19. The selected year will be reference year for the school. So school will consider that year as a reference year in which they have scored the highest percentage in past 3 board examination. For each subject, now we come to subject, this is what we were talking about was overall. For each subject, the school will have to follow a broad distribution of marks which will be based on performance of the reference year by the school in that subject. Now, point B is very interesting, and you may be wondering, why is sir going into so much detail? Why is sir reading this? Because in order to understand how marks are allocated to you, you need to read this thoroughly and get a feel of it. In future, it may happen that someone would ask you that you scored so much without giving exam. How was it possible? How did you get these marks? You did not give the exam. So at that time, you should say this, that this is how the moderation one was done, and I have not got this marks by fluke. There was a scientific method for this. Now, very interesting point B, the subject-wise marks assessed by the school for 21 should be within the range of plus or minus 2 marks obtained by the school in the subject in the reference year. However, it means what? In the year say 2018-19, when the result percentage was 74, okay, maths average was say 80%, okay. Now in that case, 80% means say out of 80, 64 marks, and then you also have internal assessment of 20 marks, and in that you scored say 60. So it is 80 out of 100. Now this was the average. Now what school can do is, school can have this average as 80 plus or minus 2. However, if there are 5 subjects, school cannot add plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2 to all the 5 subjects, because overall the school needs to maintain the result at 74%. So somewhere if they are increasing plus 2, so other places they may have to decrease 2 marks. So that is why it is given that within a range of plus or minus 2, the overall average marks however, the overall average marks for the school assessed in 21 for all 5 main subjects should not exceed. So से कम हो सकता है. School may decide to give minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 for the complete board batch, but it can never exceed the overall average marks, in this case, in this example, which is 74. So this year, the school in which you are studying can give a result of 72%, 73%, 73.5, 73.99, 74, but it cannot give more than 74% because this 74% is the reference percent beyond which result can't be declared. Now, in case if the school has started this just 2 years back, okay, then out of the 2 years, which one is the best? If 1 year back, then the previous year, then the last year can be considered as a reference. But if school has started this year only, then what? Then board will give data to the school considering the area in which they are, that what is the average they should consider. So in this case, board will help the school to decide the percentage based on what was district, what was national, what was state, what was area. Now, so I think now you got an idea about it, how you will be getting the marks. Okay, so one is your past test, second is there's going to be a cap, and the cap is that overall result of the school will be benchmarked based on past 3 years or 2 years or 1 year or whatever based on your school, and it cannot exceed that percentage. Now, very interesting thing I came across, and that is on this page. See, the marks and all what I talked about is already given over here, so I'm skipping that. Now, very interesting, where I said that you can celebrate that exam is cancelled, but still you cannot celebrate that you have passed the examination till you get the result. Now, let's see this. This is the rational document what I was talking about, okay, where exams were not conducted or students were not able to appear for the test. Now this is very interesting, annexure 3, okay, this is really interesting, and there is an example. Say for example, maths, okay, so marks range is less than 26, 26 or more than 26 to 40, more than 40 to 50, 50, more than 50 to 60, then more than 60 to 70, and more than 70 to 80. And these are the percentage of total student having marks in a particular range. Okay, now say average marks in maths is 62, overall average in 5 main subject in the reference here is 66. Now what is to be done? Pay attention over here. So there are 200 students in your batch. So students getting less than 26 are 2. Students getting more than 26 but less than 40 are 28. Then 50, then 20, then 40, then 60, so on so forth. Now the school has enough flexibility of assessing individual student. However, overall distribution of marks should broadly fall in the above ranges. The average marks indicated are 62 for maths for the school based on reference performance in the board exam. School will have to ensure that the average marks, assessed marks for 21, yani for this attempt for maths, are within the range of plus or minus 2. That is, they should be between 60 to 64. So if it is 62 minus 2, so either 60 or 62 plus 2, so 64. So it should be in the range of 60 to 64. However, overall average for all the subjects should not exceed 66 marks, which is an overall average for the school in the reference year. Thus, school can allow a variation of 2 marks from the subject average. However, overall average of 5 main subjects shall not exceed the average of the reference year. It means it is not mass promotion. My dear students, it is not mass promotion. So please wait for your result and see what you are scoring. Now, these are various deadlines given to the school, so I expect that this result will be out on 20th of June. So till 20th of June, there can be further more clarification on this notification, and it can make things more clear for students. I hope this information was useful to you. It is really good that because of such a crisis situation, your exam got cancelled, considering the health, and obviously health should always be given the priority. But now you also need to understand this, that what your report card is going to be, what will be the what are the criterias based on which your report card is prepared, because this report card is not of the exam which you were supposed to give. It is based on past exams, and being a teacher of commerce, I can say lots of statistics is going to be used over here. Statistics is a very interesting subject and connected with our real life, and this is, you can see how numbers will be calculated, how your report card will be made. This is all what you're going to study in the subject statistics. So one thing is, you also understood that how your marks will be awarded. Second is how this subject statistics is useful to us in our real life. So I think that is enough from my side, and if you like this video, please share it with your friends, please share it with your teachers. In case you have any questions, please mention it in the comment, and please like and subscribe my channel for more information about commerce and about your academics. Signing off, bye bye, take care, namaste.